Okay, now, I want to thank the Eibush. I want to thank my Rabbi Yosef Yafi, Kavashkach Protis, Kololoshin, or any time. I want to thank everybody. Now, the thanking business, you never yatsa with that. People make mistakes. You got to do tshuva every day. You didn't thank enough. The thanking has to be extreme of extreme of extreme. You can't thank enough. You're in the middle of the worst aveirus. No, say thank you. That's not worse. You can't. The thank you business must be extreme. It's a horrible matzah. Thank for the one part. Sharon speaks about the ani has to be thankful he's not dying from a chveisvos. He's an ani, good, but you're still alive. Sharon speaks about it. You can't. The thank you, demand for thank you. People say, but I thank. There's no end. You don't chop what a demand there is to thank. And what a siyata d'shmaya there is for the extremists who never stop thanking. Rabbi Miller Zeichas, I'm his chassid like nobody. Because for one reason alone, that he hit Shviras HaMidas so well. The Midah Ra of the century is not being thankful. And he addressed that to the extreme. And that's what the Chayvus HaVavos does. That's the whole Sefer is built on being thankful. The whole Avodas Hashem, thankful. People, you lose the mode. You lose it so easily. I always have to struggle with, I have to struggle. It's not enough thankfulness. What's the matter with you? Because you want to progress and you want to grow and you want to do, and that gets you off the track. Stop progressing and stop growing. Sit back and just say thank your head off. I don't care what the matzav is. There's always that thank you has to dominate. Your very name is Hoidah. Thank you, thank you. You can't stop that stuff. All the problems of this century that people didn't know how to say thank you. Nobody, who's yotze with that? Who's capable? There's so much to be thankful for. All the goodness. But of course, the number one thankfulness is being alive. Get to the basics, always the basics. One of the greatest Hasidic leaders in the last century. I asked him, what are you all about? What do you think about? What do you talk about all day? Maidan, he repeats it all day long. I don't care about anything. That gives every midah taiva in the world. Be involved in thankfulness. Basic. You're married. She's this, she's that. Who cares? You're married. Ganuk. You have children. Ganuk. Let's shut up. You got a mitzvah. Puravu. The thankfulness has to be without end. You get particular, then you look for trouble. But I need this, but I want that, but I have to steig, but I have to this. Person has to be thankful more than anything. It's his very name. You can't do enough of that. And in the worst matzav, you have to find one nice thing and sit on it, and that's all you care about and talk about and think about. That's the way a yid has to live. Alavai. It's a big demand. Steig and Samech B'chalke. What's the problem with Bilam? He's not thankful. He's not worth a penny. He's jealous and he wants this and he wants covet. He wants. What's the problem with Kairach? Thankfulness, the whole problem of the universe. Be thankful. Vasmeh. Now, I want to tell you, I got a phone call. From a woman whose son was in the hospital and refused to talk to her for months. He had all kinds of issues. Refused to talk to her. And she knows that Rabbi Mendel once said, I don't know this lady, but I got a message after my mifas happened. That I've heard that Rabbi Mendel says you don't have to talk to him. Just cry your heart out on the machine. The machine will understand. The matzah. I have a very intelligent machine. You know, in Brisk they said, if a person dies, a gabra becomes a chefza. Anyway, so the cheftzes are doing quite well. So my cheftzes are very chashuv. Just leave a message. Say, I just heard today, the boy for 2 months wasn't holding by having any communication with his parents. They were suffering until she cried on the phone. Do something. I want my son to have to do with me. And I know nothing about half the messages, half the people don't leave messages, a lot of them. And those who do leave, some of them are all mumbled up. You can't make out the number. The guy's in the middle of a steak or I don't know what, or the telephone's in the middle of making trouble. Or I don't know, whatever. Some get through. The kids, I don't hear a lot of them. I can't make them out. And she told me, I left you a message. Oh, I didn't know that. And I cry my eyes out. My son's not talking to me. And please give me a bracha. My son should talk to me. An hour later, he called up. Tati and mommy, I want to come home. Let's be friends. It was over. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even hear the story. I didn't hear the message. I hear nothing. But I said, leave a message and let the Abishter take over. You did your shtalis. You need me too? I have to get involved and have enough phone calls without you? Just leave the message. Alles gets a problem. I just got the call now. It's not the first one like that. I have plenty like that. I left a message. Ooh, suddenly I felt better. Younger man. Got a lot of tzaras in Eretz Yisrael. You're getting to Eretz Yisrael. And they didn't, when that red tape was till Mashiach. And I said, you'll get everything. It's going to be great. But you don't have to. He asked for a bracha, you should get everything. Which one you take that from? The Rosh Kavahag? That one you got to be careful with. I need the Rosh Kavahag going through. Amen. Good, Givaldi. He's the official Gabi. He's senior Gabi. He fills them all up. Anyway, by the way, next time, actually what the Rebbes do is, I'm learning, somebody pays, I'm joking. They say, so-and-so, who wants to be a schus and the 5,000 for starters. We have a Reiche Chassidus. Anyway, so what happened? So, Altus and cup. I'll tell you another murder, guys. I got a phone call from a younger man who was crying like a baby. His son is the biggest Mitzuyan in the world. And suddenly he conked out. For a year and a half, he's not learning a word. A normal, not an extreme, normal. What happened? And the father gets on the phone. My son sits all day in his room, does nothing. And he says on himself, I have worse tzaris than the worst. He's never tzabrach and he can't concentrate. Something got to him. And I said, you're breaking my heart. I told the father, you did a job on me. Now I must help you, and I don't want to waste no time. I'm going to help you right now. Listen to this, Meister. I told the father, now look, I'm going to be mechazik you and midas b'tachon. And as I talk, I am mamin in the words that I'm saying. I'm trying to be mechazik you. And trying to be mechazik, Hashem's watching all that stuff. And He loves it. And that's enough. I'm trying to tell you to be positive and all that type of stuff. And they just can do anything, that type. And as I talk, He is definitely improving as I talk. Because I decided that I believe in every inch that I'm saying. That it's worth gold. It's live malachei chesed that are coming at your son and healing him. I spoke to. Now, take a look at your son. So he goes to the other room. Rabbi Mendel. He's smiling ear to ear. He knew nothing what we were doing. He's smiling ear to ear. He came back. That's not enough for me, I tell him. I want much more than that. And I kept talking him again with my Torah. More b'tachon, more, I want it better. Now take a look at him. He came back and he told me My boy is a total new person. Did you hear that one? You ever hear micahs like that from a Rebbe? I'm a new Rebbe. This is a new Mahalach. Do you know that Elisha davened? He wants double as many Nisim as his Rebbe Eliyahu Hanavi. And the Mefarshim, what are you? You're not happy with your Rebbe's Mifsim? By the way, you ever hear Golumbek's Mifsim? You want to hear it?
No, I want to hear
it. Don't ask what goes on by Golumbek. It's not Shaykh. So Elisha, the Mefarshim say that Elisha Hanavi said that this dar, it's a later dar, we need more Mifsim. So I go with that. We need more, whatever. I don't know what happened before me. Right now, we're getting everything. I had a Maisa, a guy calls me up, his wife is crying like a baby. She just gave birth, and they just found for months something's not right, and the blood tests and this test, that test, and it's showing all kinds of stuff. I said, shtuss him! And I heard his wife crying in the background, and he was in the hospital. I said, tell her to stop crying. Mendel Zok, no more. I promise you. The guy calls me up the next day. All right, they just discovered it's all baloney. She's out of the hospital. How do you like that one? Somebody tells me they wouldn't let so-and-so out without a procedure. Yeah, they said procedure. I said, shtusim babolam, I don't want no procedures. This guy was sick. I don't even remember. Believe me, I don't even hear straight anymore. I just hear, you got a problem, it's done. But you know this, this detail, I can't get involved with details. It doesn't make a difference. Hakol yachol. You know, I never take the names. They say, I want to give you the name. Okay, go ahead. No. You want to waste some more time. I don't need that stuff. You need the name. Yeah, but the name, the name I don't go with that. I have no tzimtzum in my books, and the Vardigas didn't like tzimtzum. Mitzrayim is Meitzar, Gvul. You don't do it like this, it's not going to work. Don't do it like, you need 40 days of the kaisel. If you miss one day, boom, you blew it. Somebody just called me. What are you, the kaisel? Rav Weinkrantz, the doctor told him, you can't have any kids. He said, he walked outside the offices, stood by a tree. I would like to have kids. 9 months later, he was a baby. So the rest is history. I mean, what's the problem? If you're Tomim, he spent 3 hours a day learning Chovos HaLevavos. Be a Tomim, be alone with the Eibush, you're a different world. You know, a gold mine you have, you close. Vani kevas elikim li tai. Reb Gershon used to say that 3 hours before Shacharis and 3 hours after. Let's see you do that. But when you do that, when the Nazis came in, he said, oh, I don't see you guys. You're not scaring me. It's a madrega. Because you're heavy into this. You're in a different world. You're not afraid of people. You're not afraid of this happened, that happened. You have a tata in Shemayim. So the next day, what happened to this guy? The ladies, he called me up. It's all Dimion, it's all garnished. Oh, the procedure, Maisa. He says they were supposed to go to a better. Oh, so the Hicktown hospital said, without a procedure, this guy's not Negea. And I said, no procedure. Don't give me no procedure, Mises. I don't believe in that stuff. He doesn't need it. Like, immediately after they said that, come inside. Let's go. We got the most chashuva people have arrived. Come inside. So, you want to move a little bit. So they, what was I saying? They went to a new hospital, a better one. But I said Mandel said no procedure. The new hospital said no procedure. Right after Mandel sock, the hospital echoes me. You know, to imagine what's going on. And the wife is overjoyed. The husband just came home. It's a new world opening up. Listen to this one. Somebody calls me up. My wife wants a baby. A chicken, Maisa. We've heard about your chicken eggs are world famous. We want one of those. My wife's giving birth. We like it like chicken with an egg. That's the official Even my Hasidim, when they give brachas, they use that lashon. And they don't use a lashon like a whistle, because that's already too much. Because I had the guy who was standing right here. He said, Rabbi Mendel, you said it should be like a whistle. And by me, the doctor missed the whole boat in Gansen. So that's a little too much. The last one, the chicken with egg that I said, she was there for 2 hours, and the doctor came. It was over in a minute. And then she got off out of the bed as if she never gave birth. How's that one? That's a chicken mice. Chickens aren't bad either. Even without the whistle, chickens are, the guy said, my wife got off the bed, she felt like she never gave birth. Like, it's fine, let's get back to the, fine, big spiel, gave birth. Look what's going on. The Abish said, you're a tummin, you can do anything. But listen to this one. So the guy calls me up. My wife is, my wife's has to give birth, and we'd like, she wants the chicken deal. No problem, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and the baby, and you'll be able to sleep at night. Baby will let you sleep. I threw that in there. I had charota later. Wait till you hear this one. They call me up, Rabbi Mendel, the chicken pot came true, just like you said. I never had such an easier labor, 1, 2, 3, and the baby is letting us sleep because he has an apnea problem, and they need him in the hospital. They're not letting him out. So we're sleeping soundly, but that's not exactly what we asked for. And the kid keeps having these apnea problems. He can't breathe or whatever. What should we do now? He says, say goodbye to the problem. I just got a call today. The second you said say goodbye, bottle the whole problem. Kids sleeping normal. What do you say to that? Anyway, Hakel Yochel, you're dealing with talking. I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about Avish's beautiful world, what he does for us. When I see B'nai Torah sitting and learning, I'm going bananas. I see this little kid harving and learning. Come inside. 1 second. Torah anytime. Are you listening? This is the most important part of it. You want to push back, please? What was the last count? 8,000 people? Oh, okay. 8 or 9,000? Okay, I lost weight for the occasion, as usual. I keep losing weight. This Rebbe got to lose weight because the Chassidim are flooding in. Come inside, there's room. Get it. You want to move over a little bit? Come inside, Come inside. Whoever walks in here is going to have Yeshuas in his life. Amen. Big time. Now, be mispalo. Certain things are going on in my certain things are going on in my Zikr Rabbim that need a boost. There's something here. Oh, this thing. We want that to continue. No, there's another thing. It looks like, here it is. Give a bracha that this should continue. Continue and get better and better. It's hafla of a fellow.
Endless cash.
Endless kaiches, because whatever they need, it should keep going. How? Cash is already getting to detail. It's going to happen. How? I don't get involved. It's going to happen. Everyone masking is going to move like anything. And also, we have 2 Lashon Kodesh. One is thriving. Whole Israel is reading it. And the other one, he takes breaks. No more breaks. We want you back and knocking. In Yiddish, Lashon Kodesh, everybody masking. And today, sponsorship. Sponsors needed in order to continue spreading the Bטחון magazine. Please call 72833-3915. 833-3915. Get a lot of money. Listen to Rabbi Mendel. It will change your life. By the way, do you know what they say in New York? I heard somebody, a Chassidish guy from New York tells me. In New York, they're saying, listen to Mendel for 40 days and you're a new person. 40 days of Mendel will do the job. I told you to Maisa with the guy 3 months of reading me. Not reading this one. This one he read cover to cover. 30 days, 3 months. He read this. before he started, in his family, he was not popular. His wife was the greatest lady that all the kids loved her. And he, good, this passes. It's good, so we won't go with Teva so much. Anyway, you know what I did recently? I used to go and spread it out. The Elam should see it. Today I walked into a basement and put all three in one shot. Let me get out of here. Why? Don't you want the guys to read it? I was Yitzhak. I don't need every guy. Oh, is this being read? I'm a yucky. You know what a yucky is? If one page wasn't read on one of these things, I can't handle it. I'm serious. That's the way I am. I started off, I asked the Abish to make me a little less like that. Anyway, so it's all up to you. You have to think big. Gavaya, it's a lashon used in Chazal. Gavaya, it's used by Kachim a lot. Gavaya, the Abish is on top. My father used to say the one above. The Abish, the one above, he's above. You have to try to be above. Don't get nitty gritty. How many of those are these working? You did your job. The Abish will send a shefa, even if nothing came out and everything got messed up. Do you know, I take a look at some of these things that I wrote. I says, how'd you write a thing like that? How did you get away with it? I was embarrassed by last year's Pasha's Balak. How do you, like, some of the pages are upside down. What is it? How did you get away with this? And I'm told this is the most widely read thing in the round. How? Because the Eibishter made me a little bit one of those that does things a little purposely, so I'm stuck, and I have to be Saimach on the Eibishter. How's that? Listen to what happened to this guy. I think I mentioned it. 3, he was, in his family, he was Mr. Unpopular. They loved his wife, and he was, no. Tati is not so. They used to send the best mommy of the world cups, and they always left out Tati. Like, Tati's never, he's not one of us. And then he started reading my Bטחון weekly. He told this to, he told it to one of my chassidim. Anyway, told him I said. He read it 3 months straight, cover to cover. And today, this is the matzav in the family. He is the most popular in the whole family, and his wife is Nebuch, didn't make it. So he called me up, Mandel, what are we going to do? And he says, tell your wife to read it also. Listen to this, Rabosha Eisman, the Zangazut Shtak. He is off the hook. Are you aware of that? Total. It's done. Now this is the first time. They're not reading. What did you hear? No? It's definitely way better than it ever was. Am I right or wrong? Right. It's over.
We go to the Rebbe's psak. We don't read that close. We don't follow the
detail.
We go to that. Whatever the Rebbe says.
What does it? Wait till I start saying some things. I'm joking. Chaim Teva Shalom. Should be Yeshua's for every single Yid. Brand new Nisim. For everybody. The closest to Hashem should skyrocket. And not mitoch tzodos. Mitoch good times. It should be all the goodness in Abish's beautiful world. There's a Yalkut Shemaini in Balak that says that when Avraham, that Moshe Rabbeinu gave a bracha to the Shvatim, they had to be first teichacha. When Moshe Rabbeinu gave brachas, first teichacha. Yaakov gave brachas, first teichacha. That's what it says in Yaakov. When Bilam gave brachas, Mali Pagam, whatever that means. When the nobody gives brachas, then it's really great. You know, it says Toy Ma'oid, Toy Yetzatoy, Toy Ma'oid Yetzara. So Reb Reuben Hochster, Zangazut Shtak, the Mashkiach Brachel Meir spoke in Yeshiva. He brought a whole Chassid Yaibitz. When something's coming from the rotten, from the bad stuff, then it's go Gevaldik. When something bad happens, it's going to be Gevaldik. Reb David Blacha said, that's the worst the matzav is. Expect much better Yeshuas. Say that your whole life, you'll get Elam Abba for that stuff. The worse it is, just the opposite. Expect nisim. Oh, it's really bad? That's great. What happened to Rabbi Blach Erev Pesach? Famous story. Erev Pesach, he had 100 bachrim with nothing to eat. He came home, he had promised. He told the bacher there, okay, you take, he went away for 4 weeks. All the Novandigas disappear 4 weeks before Pesach, and they take each other apart. And you got to work on this, they kill each other. They love that, by the way. They come home. I heard this from a son of one of these Ha'ima Shali Kol Kach Smecha Abba Ba Hukamo Malach. The father, I heard from 2 guys, the fathers came home like they were so sweet and good and holy after those 4 weeks in the mountains somewhere, some winter resort. That's what they do. They make a geschmack. They eat a lot too, by the way. Eating is mutter in Novandik. We're not into that whole enjoy. Anyway, and they take each other apart. You got to work on this, you got to work on that. I watch what they do. While they do it, everyone's laughing and joking. Oh, you're still not getting along with your shviga. Don't worry, I'm worse than you are. They're not so serious about being a Balgaivanik. Everyone is. You're not a Balgaivanik? You sure you're okay? I mean, they don't. Here, if you tell a guy around here you have a Gaiva issue, that's the last time you're going to have. By them, of course, that's normal. And they kid around. How's your Gaiva? Yeah, you really. Oh, your wife is still in charge of you? Is she still running the show? You didn't learn how to get some backbone? They let you have it there. In all areas. You got to perfect yourself in all areas. You have to become, sometimes this guy got to be more soft. That guy, I have a lot of calls of a lot of people they never worked on these things. Amitus! I'm in charge around here. Hey, who do you think you are? You got to be a stickle truck driver. You hear that? A bissel. Shminas sheba shminas. Or else you might have, there are people who call me that there's no question. I don't know their wives, but there's no question that she is mamish. She's sitting on top of his head. He has no say in anything. I mean, he doesn't exist. He talks, well, my wife said this, my wife said that, and I'm not sure what my wife really wants. He's Madaik and Haloshin. What's going on here? Who's in charge around here? Now, by the way, there's nothing wrong with having the lady in charge. I have an Elta Baba and Elta Zeda. The picture's right here. And I was told she was in charge. It's not so terrible. You can live happily ever after. But when a guy calls me up and he says he can't manage anymore because he's home, between him and his wife, the shadow is, who's mommy? Like, he's more mommy than she is. It's not a mahalach. And he gets nervous and the kids make him crazy. And well, because my wife decided this, you don't count. You're not a husband. You're not the mitzvah. So I gave him a crash course on how to be Mr. Tough Guy. His work is not easy. You gotta be Mr. Tough Guy, and slowly but surely have some mices. The wife respected him much more when he put her in her place. Doesn't mean you have to kill her, but you have to be a mensch. You don't always have to be and there's ladies that have the similar problem, that they're a little bit too, every case is different, but very often you might be too tough. Some people think they own the world, men and women. They walked into a marriage. Well, I expect there's supposed to be a whole kollel in New York that they're telling me 20, 30 guys, the whole marriage turned around because they're in touch with me. What? Because they heard the rules of marriage. She's boss. Leave me alone. So if you know how to do it properly, it's going to be just fine. They say Mea Chodesh, she was the boss. She did all the talking. He was super quiet. But all the kids knew he was the boss. He just didn't scream the way she did. But he got his way. He was smart. You got to play your cards. You don't have to come over everything. I'm boss around here. There are people who do that too. Every case is different. Anyway, a lot of people need gaiva. A lot of people need gaiva. For your wife, for your boss, the people you work with. Don't be so afraid of them. The people that you come in contact with, everyone's afraid. Some people need other treatment. Some people need to tone down. If they don't think you own the world. So what if you don't get your way? The world's turning everybody in the body. They take each person apart. And you need this, you need that. Last time, you're improving, but I think you're getting carried away now. You got to straighten out more like this. Pretty soon you're going to be dangerous. You're so confident. So you have to tone down. Usually that's not the problem. I made a diak. The Sephardi speaks about midas. And he says, in the Paraduma, they threw Eitz Eretz Ve'ezei into it. What's that all about? Eitz Eretz is being tough. The soft guy got to be like this. Ezei is the big shot, got to be like an Ezei. He says it. The famous Rambam. With midas, you go to the opposite extreme. And they threw it on Paraduma. So I wanted to taina that how come now he elaborates on the part that you got to be tough. That he elaborates on. That he speaks more because that people don't have. He says, Shaul HaMelech lost his malchus because you're afraid of your wife and you're afraid of this guy. What are people on base men think of you? You're afraid to learn extra. You look like a frummy. You're afraid to, whatever it is. You're afraid of people. And that, so he addresses that. He doesn't address the other one. But he says even then, that was the most important thing. Now, when I got together with the Yolim Friday, the first time I got nervous about Asher Eisman, I said from day one, they're never going to get him. Forget it. And I was semich on my own b'tachon. All through, I know. I felt it. They're not getting him. And never. It's just a song and dance, and it's ludicrous. Haven't they given up? Look how stupid you look. And there's always emergency. Tomorrow they're going to kill him. Tomorrow they're going to send him. You know how many emergencies I had already? And what happened besides I was garnished and Vita, and well, we'll get him next time and retrial. I don't get involved in details, nothing. But this time I got nervous. I had certain reasons why I got nervous. This time I decided I'm getting nervous, and this time I'm going to do something about it. I'm fed up with this. This guy has to spend his life. I know he's a Baal B'tachon and everyone admires him. I want him off the hook. Gendikt. I don't want him out of this whole sugya. And I want them apologizing to him. I want them kissing his feet. And I want them to give him plenty of money for what they did to him. Anyway, I told Usher how I felt about it. And he said, that's good, I agree, but I don't need the money. So I says, if you don't need the money, I'll take it. So what happened? So I went around and it was Friday, and I was in touch with the family. I said, what's going on? So his lawyer had already said his, but now there's a recess. You know what I said? Those people don't know if they're coming or going. As I said it, I was feeling it. They don't know if they're coming or going. They're mush. They're butter. I've done this with judges. You can easily. You want to lick the system. Watch before you go to court. Spend a month saying the judge is a cute guy. He's really my friend. We like each other. He looks like this. He's just like everyone else. They're all to the toilet, and they're all the same. And the judge, boom, 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 and he's gonna end up worms like the rest of us. He's the judge. He's just as meshuggah as anyone else. He might even be worse. Kum tzadai. Anyway, so, but when you do that, and I did this, I was talking about it, I was talking to Eibishter. How can you do this to Usher? It's enough. I can't. I'm going to do something. So there were 3-4 minyanim on Friday, Mincha. I went to Kel Shimshon. I had a packed house. And of course, I'm not scared of anybody. In the Vardis, I love more pratim to scream in front of everybody so you get attention. People see what a great guy I am. Come inside! Come, push. Anyway, so what happened? And I kept saying that nusach. Lai hayu dvarim olam. Everybody say, Amen. And I kept saying it again and again with a few of the olam, and I was done. Now, you saw the signs? Did it ever look as positive as this time? It's over, no? It's a ganzen over. The mavatal, the whole thing is over. What? He doesn't read news. That's the way to go. Either those who don't read news, they accomplish everything. Anyway, so that's what I said. So the power, then I'm hearing that what you say comes true. You say it's nothing, it becomes nothing. You can do that with everything and anything in your life. The thing that you say comes true. Now, how do you view? There are so many. There's so many things that bother you throughout your life. You once did something wrong, and it plagues you. You're looking down at yourself. You have to spell it out. I'm potter from this. You should know. Yehуда Lefkowitz. That's all said. Kiptzara, let's go. Let him in. No, Rabbi say, come in, no. Kiptzara. Otazai, macht's heimisch. Kiptzara, macht's. Come inside, no. So do plots for Yehуда. By here, this is like the Makam HaMikdash. Shtachim and Ravachim. Do you know, I made a joke. I don't know what you think of it. But for me, Elul is a very difficult time in my life. Because Elul, I have to do tshuva. And a tzaddik like me, what in the world do I have to do tshuva for? That's my issue. That's why Elul is a scary time. What did they want from me? In order to be Mekayim the mitzvah of tshuva, you got to do a chait. What did I ever do? Now, I tell this to certain people, to a lot of people out there who spend their lifetime, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. Rabbi Yehуда Lefkowitz said that these nation, these people, Nebuch, that are off the derech, you're not allowed to give them any criticism because the head is banging with so much. You'll take, but you take a whole stack of these too? Outside? Yeah, outside. Take some of these. These are different. You got Spring Hill, you got all this stuff. And, okay.
Where's the Bטחון magazine?
Bטחon magazine. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's the magazine, Bטחon magazine. And there's some more in the box. Take some in the box. Take, Rabbi say. For those who want, you know the pink. At my daughter's chasana, I had 2 boxes. One for men, one for ladies. And they both had tan and pink. Both of them. So when the chasana was over, the men's box was totally empty. The ladies' box, all the tans were gone, and they left me the pink. I thought, I for the ladies with pink. No, they Yaakov girls take the tan. Anyway, I'm joking. So, that's interesting, you know. Anyway, so what was I saying? Where were we up to? So look, you can't look down at yourself. Some people, it's usher. I checked this out with big people. You can't criticize. There's some people that are not allowed to be criticized. You're not allowed to. You ever see where a heart condition, the guy, you're not allowed to worry. The doctor forbids you to worry. These people never, blood pressure types, you know, you're not allowed to. Before you get sick, you're not allowed to do that. You have to take it serious. You can't tell yourself that you do a virus. You're not allowed to do that because you have 10 million voices bombarding you 24/7. I did this wrong, I did that wrong. You're not allowed to do that. It's awesome. You have to say, I'm Naki, V'tzadik, Kodesh, V'tor. I'm perfect. You don't have a choice, or else you're not going to function. Of course, there's a time and place to try to do some tshuva. Try it if you can, whatever you could. For sure, you're not going to lose. You're going to lose your Shemayim, end up with nothing. But you can't sit on that. You have to sit on what a perfect tzaddik I am. That you have. I'm sorry. You're going to call yourself a tzaddik Yisayid Olam. You hear what I said? Everybody. Tzaddik. Amech call him tzaddikim. I'll bring you rayas. Call yourself a tzaddik. You'll steig so much more. Let him in. Rabbi Shai, kids. Let him in. There's so many people. I'll make room on top of the table. Let's go. You're going to find some ideas. In Ger, they used to have the guys swinging from ropes. You know that? We'll get some ropes over here. We'll get some guys. Anyway, it's okay. Somebody asked me, why don't you get a bigger place? And I said, it's better like this. Like this. Look at this. They're fighting to get in. How many? What was the last count? 9,000 people standing outside? What was the last count? 1,000? Wow, getting better and better. Anyway, so